What's going on, POSimulator? My name is Morning Sun, and today I'm bringing you the Little Cup Battle of the Week between Fitzy and Archerknight. So let's go ahead and get started. Fitzy's going to be leading off with his Mischievous, as Archerknight will be leading off with his Fungus. So Archerknight does have the upper hand here first turn, unless Fitzy happens to be a sub-call Mind variant of Mischievous, which, as you'll see by the switch here, it's not. Archerknight's going to predict the switch in the Murkrow very nicely, go for the Sludge Bomb, get off a huge hit on the Murkrow, so that's going to limit that thing's survivability very much. Archerknight's going to switch his Porygon in on the Brave Bird. That's going to do a huge chunk to the Porygon, but it leaves Murkrow with only one more hit in him after Life Orb Recoil. So Fitzy makes a very clever play here. Knows Archerknight's going to want to keep his Porygon, so he goes for the Pursuit, predicting the switch. So Murkrow goes down to Life Orb Recoil. Porygon's left at 7 HP, and out comes Slowpoke. Fitzy sends out his Staryu on the Slowpoke to fire off a Thunderbolt as Archerknight goes into Bronzong to tank whatever hit this Staryu wanted to go for. Gets a crit, unfortunately, but it doesn't do too much damage even with the crit. And Archerknight's going to switch directly into his Fungus, knowing you can take the Thunderbolt followed by whatever hit and get off a free Spore and whatever Fitzy decides to send in. So he decides to send in his Lileep as Sleep Fodder, as Archerknight predicts the switch out of Lileep into Stunky and gets off the Paralysis by a Stun Spore. So Stunky's going to go for the Fire Blast. Archerknight goes into his Mienfoo to take it, takes it very well, and he's able to U-turn out on the incoming Mischievous back into his Fungus. So here Fitzy's going to go ahead and trick the Choice Specs back onto that Fungus, which actually is not too bad for Archerknight. Fungus is already status to Pokemon, and it kind of appreciates the boost from the Choice Specs. However, that does give Fitzy a free turn to set up with his big threat to Archerknight's team in this Vullaby here. So Fitzy's going to do just that. He's going to set up the Nasty Plot and hit the incoming Bronzor with a +2 Dark Pulse. Going to do a huge chunk of damage, but Archerknight's going to be able to get off a crucial Toxic, which prevents him from being just swept right out the gate. So that's great. Here, Archerknight's going to fodder his 7% Porygon and get a free switch into his Mienfoo. So Fitzy's going to switch here, knowing that Archerknight Mienfoo could perhaps have Fake Out and stall him for another turn of Toxic, so he's just going to switch out, not going to take any risk, because again, Vullaby is the biggest threat to Archerknight's team at this point. And now Archerknight U-turns out of the Staryu into his Fungus, obviously not a favorable matchup for Fitzy. He's going to go ahead and switch out to his Lileep as fodder, as Archerknight takes the opportunity to set up a Stealth Rock here. However, Fitzy does not want those rocks up. He's going to go ahead and go into Staryu on the Bronzor, and I believe here Fitzy's going to go ahead and go for the Recover just to get his HP back. Now Fitzy's going to fire off a Psychic, knowing that the Fungus is a Violet, has been tricked away from it, so Psychic will be doing quite a bit. Now Fitzy knows that Archerknight's probably not going to want to lose his Fungus, predicts the switch and goes for the Recover. Pretty risky move, but pays off for him, as Archerknight's going to send in his Mischievous, predicting the Rapid Spin. Fitzy's going to go out to Stunky on that Mischievous and just trap it. Going to go ahead and go for the Pursuit, predicting the switch, and he's able to get a huge chunk of damage off on that Mischievous. Now Mienfoo's back in against Stunky, obviously not the favorable matchup again. Archerknight's going to go ahead and predict a switch, knock off the Lileep's Violet, but Fitzy is just foddering it, so that's just fine. In comes Staryu now, knowing that he can hit the Mienfoo for some nice damage with Psychic, but Archerknight is not going to be scared out. He's going to go ahead and Drain Punch, predicting Fitzy to not go for the Psychic, either that or knowing that he can take one Psychic and get some damage off on the Staryu. So that's exactly what happens. Next turn, Fitzy goes for the Psychic, and at this point, Archerknight's definitely going to want to switch his Mienfoo out because he doesn't want to die. He's going to go ahead and fodder out his Mischievous, as Fitzy's now going to switch on the incoming Fungus because he does not want to lose his Staryu just yet. Archerknight's going to go for the Sludge Bomb, as Fitzy switches into his Stunky on the Fungus because it resists both of its stabs and can't really do much to it in return. So Stunky's going to go ahead and go for the Fire Blast again, as Archerknight sends in his Slowpoke just to tank it. And at this point, there's no use for Fitzy to really switch out of Stunky, so he's just going to stay in and crunch as the Slowpoke goes for the Scald Knot, knocking out the Stunky. And Fitzy's going to go for a Crunch because he is paralyzed. The Slowpoke will outspeed, and he's going to go ahead and slack off. Now Archerknight goes for the slack off, as Fitzy predicts him to just want to kill him off. That's not what happens, as next turn Fitzy's going to go for the Sucker Punch, predicting him to just kill him off, and Archerknight does this time and finishes him off with the Scald, and he's left at 57 HP. So back in comes Vullaby, as Fitzy's Vullaby is going to go ahead and try and get off a Roost just so he can be at a higher amount of HP, because again, Vullaby can sweep this Archerknight's team. Fitzy goes for the air slash, predicting the switch to Mienfoo, but Archerknight just stays in, and luckily he gets a flinch, so he doesn't have to take damage on his Vullaby. Not sure if that would have killed with Toxic's, not looking like it, but either way, the flinch it was kind of a bad thing. But anyway, this Fungus comes in on Vullaby, not going to take that air slash very well at all, but it does survive, and it does knock out that Vullaby with the Sludge Bomb. However, Archerknight's in a really bad position here because all of his remaining Pokemon pretty much lose to Staryu, because at this point Staryu can just Psychic the Fungus. Even if it regenerates out, it will not survive a Psychic considering its Violet has been knocked off. Mienfoo can live after a Regenerator, but it can't really do much in return considering Fitzy can just recover up on this Bronzor, not take too much damage rather from the incoming attack, finish it off after it recovers to full once again, and be able to beat the Mienfoo one-on-one. So that was a good game, and the victory goes to Fitzy. If you guys enjoyed, please remember to leave a like and a comment if you'd so desire, and subscribe to the POSimulator channel if you haven't already. Again, my name is Morning Sun, and I'm out. Peace.